Hello. Today I would like to talk to you about a movie that might change your life. This movie that I'm going to talk about, as you already gathered from the title, it was adapted from a novel, and I've already spoke about the novel a few videos ago, I suppose. And this novel is called Call Me by Your Name and was written by André Aciman and was recently adapted for the screen by James Ivory. He wrote the script for the movie, and the movie was eventually directed by Luca Guadagnino. This movie is about, first of all, it's a beautiful movie. You have to watch it. It's just marvelous. So this movie is about, I'll try not to give any spoilers. If I will give any, they will probably be in the title, but I won't, I mean, not major spoilers, obviously. So this movie is about Elio and Oliver and how kind of they fall in love, I suppose. But it's not just about that, it's so much more. So it's essentially it's about this graduate student who goes to Italy. His name is Oliver. He goes to Italy and he stays with Elio's family. And over the course of the weeks that he stays over, a romance, but not just a romance, a relationship blossoms between him and Elio. And it's just so beautiful. The way it was done. When I read the novel, I completely fell in love with it. If you wanna go back and watch me doing the review discussion of the book, it's on my YouTube channel a few videos ago. But yes, when I read the novel, I felt so in love with the world and still so heartbroken. And yes, the novel was so gorgeously written, and although I'm not normally one of those people who say once they hear that a novel is going to be adapted for the screen, I'm not like, oh my god, I bet the movie's going to be awful, because, or it's going to be worse than the novel is always going to be better than the movie. So, but I was a bit afraid with this novel because I loved it so much. And here is the cover for it, by the way. It's on my Kindle Paperwhite. Yeah, I was a bit afraid because the novel is so beautifully written, and André Aciman manages to create this relationship between these characters. So I don't even, I was like, yeah, the way he constructs the novel, it makes it feel so real. And I was afraid that on the screen it might just not come out as perfect as in the novel, as flawed as and yet perfect. But yeah, I was very nervous going to see the movie, but at the same time I was really excited because it's a beautiful novel and I was eager to see it on the screen. Although it's a different medium, it's still a story that it's such a wonderful story that deserves to be seen by more people and be known by more people. And when I went to see the movie, it was very interesting because I went to the cinema, and when I read the novel, obviously it was me, and the manuscript, the novel, the content is different. It was more intimate in a way. But then when I went to the cinema, all these people, they were watching, and I felt like, I don't know, it's just so weird. It was strange in a way because we were all connected in a way, although we haven't like spoken to each other, the members of the, people who were in the audience watching the movie, it was just like we're watching all this beautiful story unfold on the screen, and I just felt really happy. So yeah, the movie is in the movie. The main character is played by Elio and not played. The main characters Elio and Oliver are played by Timothée Chalamet. He plays Elio, and Oliver is played by Armie Hammer. And let me tell you now, I had my doubts in a way. Not that Armie Hammer couldn't handle the role, because that was not the case. I was just a bit worried because he's not much older, but he's a few years older than Oliver is in the book, and I thought he might look a bit too old for the role. Although I know they tend to cast actors who are normally older than the characters in the book, but yeah, I was a bit worried he might not look as I imagined. But let me tell you, if I thought I was going to love Elio in the movie, I loved Oliver so much more. The way Armie Hammer portrayed this character is not a character, obviously, anymore. It feels like such a real human being, and the tenderness and gentleness he handled the character and the relationship made me appreciate him so much more as an actor, and not just him, obviously, because it's a team effort. The whole team that worked on the movie, front with Luca Guadagnino, the director, James Ivory, who did the script, Timothée Chalamet, Michael Stolberg, who plays the father of Elio in the movie. It's just they all give astonishing performances, and I don't know, among the three of them, the three main secondary characters, I don't know, I hope they all win Oscars because I couldn't be like, I want Armie Hammer to win the Oscar, because the way he portrayed the character is just, as I said, astonishing. But then Michael Stolberg, I hope I'm not butchering his name, the movie was just like, his performance in the movie, the monologue he has towards the end, it was just heartbreaking, but like so mature, and I bet he's gonna make many parents appreciate his role in the movie and the words he says. So to talk about the movie, I'm gonna say that as soon as I stepped in the cinema, and I began watching the movie, I knew I was in for something special. The movie begins without giving. That's not really. I mean, it's a spoiler, but it's not like about the story necessarily. It's about the way it was edited, I suppose. The beginning of the movie has like the names of the actors written in like a yellow font, and it's like a chalk font. It's written in chalk, and it's such a beautiful font. I've never seen it anywhere, and I think from interviews, I think someone mentioned that Luca Guadagnino found someone in Italy, saw the font in one of the windows in Italy, in a shop in Italy somewhere, and he got in contact with the person who did it and requested him to do the font for the movie. And it was, I can't believe it. It's maybe something small, but it tells you so much about the movie and about the appreciation and the effort that went into it, and the attention to detail that the director offered to this story. It made it so special, beginning to end. It's just, I'm gonna speak about the music now. I loved the music. I cannot believe. I mean, I can believe. I can totally believe, but I wasn't expecting, because I didn't really think about that. So this music, I don't know all the people who created the music, but one of the main people who did the music for the film, who offered a few of his songs for the movie, is Sufjan Stevens, and I believe he had two or three songs, but two of like the songs that were used in the movie at dramatic moments, such it was, I think, Mystery of Love is called, and but that's not my favorite, although it's one of my favorite. I cannot pick. The other one is Futile Devices, and that song is used at such an important moment in the story. Like, oh, I cannot believe it coincides so well, like the dramatic tension in the book, the way it was translated to the screen using the music and the images, like the way the editing was done. It was like, oh, it was gorgeous. Like Sufjan Stevens' voice and like the music he created, it was so suited for this movie. Like he wrote he wrote Futile Devices, the song, ages ago, years ago, and I've only found out about it recently. After I watched the trailer, I went on looking for his music because bits of his song is are in the trailer. So, and I found this song among many of his, and I think it's my favorite song of his, Futile Device. It's only like 2 minutes and a bit. But it was perfectly used for that moment, for those 2 minutes and a bit in the movie. It was so heartfelt. The anguish, it was so appropriate and beautiful. As I was saying about how it was shot and edited, I think it was shot, again, I was watching interviews with the actors and the director, and I believe he mentioned that the whole movie was shot only on using one lens. I think it was 35mm. It was very well done. They used long shots as well, like doing a whole movie with one lens, but this is like a very useful lens to use because you can get portraits, you can get long shots with it, and it's just, the cinematography was beautiful. I believe it wasn't even filmed in the summer, but the way they edited it, it made it look like it was summer. It made you feel like you were there in the peach orchard of their house, because where they live in Italy, where Elio lives with his family in Italy. They have an orchard of peaches, and talking about peaches, they play a very important role because there's a very interesting scene in the movie, but followed. I'm not going to say which one. You've probably heard of it if you heard about the movie by now, by the time you're watching this. But immediately after the scene with a peach, it's such a heartbreaking moment. And if you've ever been in love, you know, and you had to, I don't want to say because I might spoil the movie for those who haven't read the novel or don't know anything about it. So I'm not going to say anything. I'll try not to, at least. But once you see it, you'll know, when you love someone, or you fell in love with someone, and then you're kind of forced by circumstances to go a certain way. I was so sad in that moment, but so I appreciated so much the way they acted, the way they brought these characters to life, and yeah, the way it was handled. It's different from the book, but I felt it was more appropriate in a way, so I was grateful for that, because it might have been weird to film that on the camera the way it was done in the book, but it didn't take away from the book. It didn't change the narrative, or yeah, it was beautiful. And talking about how it was shot again, mainly, as in the book as well, we see the story unfolding through the eyes of Elio, and most of the movie is as well seen through his perspective, mostly. Towards the end, we get a glimpse more into the perspective of Oliver, and that's why I'm so appreciative of this movie, because it respected the book so well. Obviously, it changed a few things, because in the book the story goes further 20 years, and the movie ends at a certain point. And hopefully there'll be a sequel, although I don't know, I'm terrified again, but I trust if they do a sequel, they'll do a great job, because they just amaze me with this movie. So yeah, the way it's like we see Oliver, and we understand certain things towards the end. I mean, I'm very happy for the people who have not read the novel in a way and are going to see the movie for the first time without knowing anything about it, because it's such a gift, such a gift from the director, from all the people who worked on it. Many unexpected things. I knew some of the things that, I knew most of the things that were going to happen, and I was just like, oh, how are they going to handle that scene? And so, in a way, the movie, I was like, when you don't know anything about the story, you're like just focused on the story and the way you just look at them on the screen. But I was like, all these thoughts were running through my head. And my video is long again. I said I was thinking I'll do a short video, but of course my video ends up being 20 minutes long. So yeah, and as I was saying, towards the end, the camera focuses on Oliver a bit more, and it shows him a bit more of his feelings. The way it's shot, like you cannot, in a way, you can totally show feelings. The way someone acts and moves and looks a certain way, and certain like movements, even if they're like barely noticeable, they are there, and they're like, no matter how subtle they are, if they're done well, it adds such a major layer to the film, to the story. If it was in the hands of some other actors, some other director, this movie could have ended up a terrible thing. But I'm so happy that it didn't. Like, it was handled so well, and the shot at the end, as I was saying, the movie does not end as the book, because it just doesn't end. It just doesn't end as the book. But it's like Michael Stolberg, I think his name is. His monologue towards the end. I know in interviews, Luca Guadagnino mentioned that André Aciman said that he possibly liked the ending of the movie more than the one in his book, and I can understand why. But obviously they're different. They're two different mediums, and I urge you to read both, to read the novel and see the movie as well, because they're different, but they're the same. I mean, they're not very different. The story still evokes the same emotions and the same feelings, but it's just different medium to see, like, these characters on the screen. It's different. I don't know, I'm just so happy that I've seen it and I lived to see it. It's so amazing that sometimes we go through things. I mean, I speak for myself, but I'm sure others have felt this way. Like, you go through things and you might think, oh, what's the point of life? Or, we have depressive thoughts. And then this is the point, let me tell you right now, this is the point when you see such a spectacular movie and you read such an amazing story as this one. That's why we live. We live to meet people who create such things and make our lives richer, and makes us appreciate every second and every moment of life that we have been given. Yeah, so I don't know if I should mention anything else because I don't want to spoil it. It's already 20 minutes long, past 20 minutes now. But yeah, to mention the phone that really amazed me. Um, the songs by Sufjan Stevens. Oh God. Um, yeah, the actors, the way the yeah, I loved everything about this movie. And I don't know. I'm trying to think if I forgot to mention anything, but I think this is it because I want to let you experience it for yourselves. So thank you so much for watching. Bear with me for 20 minutes. Please comment. Let me know what you thought about the movie, or if you're gonna watch it if you haven't seen it yet. Please subscribe if you like to see more of these videos. I won't do movie reviews unless I really, really liked, I fell in love with the movie as I did with this one, and many months ago with Manchester by the Sea. Um, yeah, I won't do. I'm not like I write fiction and stuff like that. I don't do like reviews for everything. I just give you my thoughts on what I like and what I think you should go and check out, because if not, you might miss out some amazing stuff. Not that if you don't come to my channel, you won't find about them, but I mean, I don't know. It's just a thought. I just like to share stuff with you. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and have a lovely evening. Take care and be safe.